everybody. This one is called Do-It-Yourself Common Law Marriage. Okay, you don't need their permission. Okay, and we're going to go into why. Copies of these documents can be found in my private group at Yahoo called Administering Your Public Servants. For a complete set of YouTube videos with private information shares, a DVD with over 50 searchable law dictionaries and other books and forums, contact me privately at engineerwin@yahoo.com. And donations to support this work are appreciated. I prefer gold or silver coin, but as an extremely less desirable alternative, I can accept the IOUs, the Federal Reserve notes, the PayPal gifts, the checks, the money orders. Send me an email for particulars. A marriage license is license or permission granted by public authority to persons who intend to intermarry. Okay, that's Black's Law Dictionary, 5th edition. And then intermarriage says, see miscegenation. Okay, and then if you go to miscegenation, it says mixture of races, marriage between persons of different races. Okay, so that's the only ones that really need a marriage license. And you know, again, it comes down to, are you a person? Okay, that's really what it comes down to. And, you know, my attitude, I'd love to have a gorgeous black wife and have some little, you know, chocolate-colored kids. And you know, I don't have a problem with it. And it's only criminals that want to control everybody's life. And do that kind of thing. So, anyways, let's keep going here. Licenses, okay? So we'll talk about licenses. A marriage license is a type of a license. The requirement of payment for such licenses is only a mode of imposing taxes on the licensed business, and the prohibition under penalties against carrying on the business without the license is only a mode of enforcing the payment of such taxes. Okay, so again, what they're doing is they're converting a right into a privilege. Okay, if you understand it and you can ignore it. You can do it with impunity, and the courts have talked about that. The recognition by the acts of Congress of the power and right of the states to tax and control and regulate any business carried on within its limits is entirely consistent with the intention on the part of Congress to tax such business for national purposes. And that's U.S. Supreme Court license tax cases, 1866. So, again, they're converting a right into a privilege. This is Bouvier's Law Dictionary, 1843 edition. A license is a contract, is a right given by some competent authority to do an act without such authority would be illegal. Okay, and that's why common law marriage, there's nothing they can do about it. They even pass statutes about it because they want to maintain the illusion for all the sheeple. The instrument or writing which secures this right is also called a license. A license is express or implied. An express license is one in which a direct terms authorizes the performance of a certain act, as a license to keep a tavern by public authority, or a marriage license or driver's license. An implied license is one which, though not expressly given, may be presumed from the acts of the party having the right to give it. In other words, when you pay the extortion for filing fees, that's a license, okay, and a tax. Okay, and the thieves, that's why they're bail priests, they're thieves. You know, don't get me going. Anyways, that's Bouvier's Law Dictionary, 1843 edition, volume 2, page 53. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow me on vid.me. And there's a link, vid.me at Sovereignty International. Don't forget to follow me on Steemit at Sovereignty International. Don't forget to like this video on YouTube. Don't forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified when there's a new upload. On vid.me, don't forget to upvote this video. On Steemit, don't forget to vote and make your comments. There's my YouTube channel, and the arrow is pointing at the bell. You click on the bell, a pop-up will come up with a box you have to check, and you click OK, and you'll be notified about new uploads. This is the Steemit page. And on the left-hand arrow is where you upvote things, and the middle arrow is how many votes, and on the right arrow is where you can make an edit, where you can, I should say not edit, where you can reply or comment. And also, this is on Steemit again. If you notice where the little hand is over here, I'm clicking on that crypto wallet, and this little menu comes up, and you can either follow or unfollow a crypto wallet in this case, or me. So that's how you do it on Steemit. There are 3 parties to a marriage contract: the husband, the wife, and the state. Okay. For this reason, marriage is denominated as a status, and certain incidents are attached thereto by law, which may not be abrogated without consent of the third party, the state. Okay. And again, this is all Roman law. Okay, and so you don't have to participate in Roman law. And the key is not to get a license. Don't get permission. You don't need their permission. Screw them pigs. Marriage is a civil contract to which there are 3 parties: the husband, the wife, and the state. That's actually a divorce case. And another divorce case: the state is a party of interest in every marriage contract. Okay, and that's another divorce case in Florida. The legislature, in dealing with the subject of marriage, has plenary power. That's military dictatorship, folks, and is subject and ordinary common law contracts that are converting a right into a privilege. This is all Roman law. Civil rights under the 14th Amendment are for federal citizens and not state citizens. Federal citizens, as parents, have no right to the custody of their infant children except subject to the paramount right of the state. And so, again, that's how they're getting you, folks. Okay, these people are Satanists. Announcing a subscription-based YouTube channel called Sovereignty International. The recommended cost of the subscription is currently $1.99 because it avoids the advertising only. But if you like my work, it can be a donation. All donations are appreciated. It's a modest donation, but a whole bunch of people chipping in a little bit. It adds up pretty fast. The only power that these New World Order Satanists have over us is through fraud and deception, and my agenda is to expose it for all our benefit. And for that reason, there's not going to be much exclusive material on that channel. There is some, but if it's something that I want widely known, then it's going to be on the free channel. I'm currently publishing 3 videos a week. YouTube has basically decimated my compensation that's coming from this channel, and so I'm going to be publishing less and less stuff on the free channel. I mean, I have got loads of stuff on that free channel, and everything you need to know is on that free channel. Stuff that's on the subscription channel is really a bonus. And so, anyways, I'm currently publishing 3 videos a week on the subscription channel, and I'm down to 1 video a week on the free channel. And some people had trouble finding the subscription channel, so I put a link at the bottom, and so you can just manually type that in, and you will come up with the channel. Now, some of the exclusive content that's already there is Arlington Private Information Share. I've got land deed training. I got estoppel certificates training. I got foreclosure estoppel certificates training. I've got corporate denial training. I've got toll roads notice and demand training, invoice training, notice of void judgment training, revocation of signature training, and third-party witness training. These are all exclusively on that subscription channel. Upcoming, there's going to be some lawsuit training and criminal complaint training and other training depending on requests. So this is the front page of the channel, and if you notice, the top arrow is pointing at the link again, so you can go ahead and just manually type that in and you'll come up with the channel. And the bottom arrow is pointing at the start free trial button. Somebody sent me $1.99, and I guess it must have been a donation because I offered to refund it and they didn't respond. So the reason I'm mentioning this is that I thought maybe that they were wanting me to subscribe to the channel, and I have absolutely no control over subscriptions. I cannot even see all the subscribers on this channel. And so if you want to subscribe, the only way you can do it is click that start free trial button, and YouTube is going to want you to do something to provide some payment arrangements or whatever. And so that's the only way you're going to be able to do it. Anyways, back to the topic at hand, unborn children. The unborn are not included within the definition of person as used in the 14th Amendment, and that's what that Roe v. Wade, that landmark decision where the U.S. Supreme Court authorized aborting, murdering our unborn children, and so that's what it said. And again, that's because of the unconstitutional 14th Amendment. That's a fraud and a nullity. And so, you know, you can, the U.S. citizens, the slaves, can murder their unborn children. I guess they don't want, they want to give them the opportunity to reduce their population as much as possible. If you think you're a U.S. citizen, okay, that's the slaves again. Licenses convert rights into privileges. Remember we talked about that? The claim and exercise of a constitutionally guaranteed right cannot be converted into a crime. No state shall convert a liberty into a privilege, license it, and charge a fee therefor. There can be no sanction or penalty imposed upon one because of his exercise of constitutional rights. If a state converts a right or liberty into a privilege, the citizen can ignore the license and fee and engage in the right or liberty with impunity. And so that's what I am suggesting you do. Okay? And we're going to get into exactly what I would do if I was to find someone that I wanted to be joined in holy matrimony with. And but right now we have a little advertisement. CubeYard.com. For great custom websites, domain names, and hosting, go to CubeYard.com. Use coupon code CY172 for 20% off your first order. CubeYard.com, your source for websites, domain names, and hosting. And so the question is, are you a person? A sovereign is not a person as far as the statute's concerned. That's Will versus Michigan State Police. A person is a variety of entities other than human beings. Church of Scientology versus U.S. Department of Justice. A person is foreigners and not citizens. That's U.S. versus Otherson. And in common usage, the term person does not include the sovereign and statutes employing the word are normally construed to exclude it. Okay? Again, that's Will versus Michigan State Police. That's something else that's taken from that same case that we talked about earlier. A sovereign is not a person in a legal sense. And a sovereign is not a person as far as the statute's concerned. Residents, as distinguished from citizens, are aliens. Okay, why do you think that these pigs always want to know your residence? Okay, well, they're fabricating a case against you. Is exactly what they're doing, and you turn around and give them evidence against yourself. I don't have a residence. I don't reside. Residents, as distinguished from citizens, are aliens who are permitted to take up a permanent abode in the country, being bound to the society by reason of their dwelling in it. They are subject to its laws so long as they remain there, and being protected by it, they must defend it. Although they do not enjoy all the rights of citizenship, they have only certain privileges which law or custom gives them. Permanent residents are those who have been given the right of perpetual residence. They are a sort of citizen of a less privileged character and are subject to the society without enjoying all its advantages. Their children succeed to their status for the right of perpetual residence given them by the state passes to their children. And that's taken from the Law of Nations by Vattel, Book 1, Chapter 19, Section 213, page 87. Now, think about it. So, these U.S. citizens are really, it's just another name for a permanent resident, someone who's an alien that's here. And so one does not necessarily become a non-resident by absconding himself or absenting himself from his place of abode. Well, think about it. It's all in what you tell them, okay? Hello? Anyways, in doing this, I shall have occasion, incidentally, to evince how true it is that states and governments were made for man, and at the same time how true it is that his creatures and servants have first deceived, next vilified, and at last oppressed their master and maker. A state like a merchant makes a contract, a dishonest state like a dishonest merchant willfully refuses to discharge it. So, that's what these Satanist pigs are doing. This is Chisholm versus Georgia. This is right after the War of Independence. They had first-hand knowledge of all of this, and that's what these pigs do, is they assault you with one of their so-called contracts, and that's exactly what they do, and their Baal priest whores in the so-called courts help them with it. It's all about slavery. A person is a slave. Either you're the king or you're a slave, and there's nothing in between. If you participate in their color of law statutes, then you've agreed to be their slave. It's only involuntary servitude, which is slavery, that is not lawful under their fraudulent, fictitious 13th Amendment. Anyways, my contact information, my blog is sovereigntyinternational.wordpress.com. My website is sovereigntyinternational.fyi. My email address is engineerwin@yahoo.com. My YouTube profile is Sovereign Living and Sovereignty International. My Facebook community page, I deleted it due to censorship on the part of Facebook. My private group on Facebook called Sovereignty International is being deleted. It takes time to ban 17,000 people off your group. My Yahoo private group is called Administrating Your Public Servants, and my Google private group is called Administrating Your Public Servants. Follow me on Twitter at EngineerWin. Follow me on VidMe, and there's my link to my channel. And follow me on Steemit at Sovereignty International. So you have to be careful about using their words. First of all, number one, be careful about using their words, okay? You're not married. Do not use that terminology, okay? You are joined in holy matrimony, okay? Completely different, okay? You got to stay away from their words. That's how they get you every time. At common law, family records are kept in the family Bible. That's the way it's been going on for centuries, okay? Births, deaths, marriages were all recorded in the family Bible. And you can even find Bibles, these big, huge Bibles today, that there's a whole section in there on where you can record family events. And you find a preacher who will marry you without a license. If you cannot find a preacher, then make up your vows yourself. Do it yourself. You don't need their permission. You don't need their help. Do it yourself. Do you know who you are? Check out my other videos, Bankster Thieves Playlist, Roman Cult Playlist, Bankrupt Corporate So-Called Governments, Bar Members 1 through 3, Do-It-Yourself, How Not to Volunteer for the Selective Service in the Draft, Martial Laws Here, Do-It-Yourself, No Income Tax, Do-It-Yourself, Free Mail, Do-It-Yourself, Kangaroo Courts 1 through 9, the Canada Border Pigs Playlist, Bar Members and their Satanic Connections Playlist. So, as we were saying, you want to get married, or I should say you want to be joined in holy matrimony, then you rent a hall, you invite some friends, you have a guest book and ask everyone to sign the guest book, you make up, or you can even buy certificates of marriage, you get 2 to 4 witnesses to sign on the marriage certificate, and you make up a notice and declaration joining in holy matrimony, and attach, matter of fact, you could actually, if you make up your certificate of marriage, I would call it a certificate of joining in holy matrimony. And so anyways, so you make up a notice and declaration of joining in holy matrimony, and you attach a true copy of the certificate and a copy of the guest book and all the signatures, and you record the package with the counter recorder. And this is how I did it with my son. Okay, and you do it basically the same way, and it worked no problem with his birth. And in fact, I was working at U.S. Airways at the time, and in the engineering department, and I wanted to put my son on the company benefits, and they accepted this, no problem, to put him on the company benefits, okay? And so notice at the top by the arrow, it's recorded in the Pinal County records, and the top box, it says, is with great pleasure, I announce the birth of my son, who will be known as Hunter Pierre Fern during this life. You can go and look it up. There's the recording number. Go look it up. Look it up for yourself. Anyways, in paragraph 5, I said Hunter Pierre is not a citizen of the foreign United States, but he is an Arizona citizen, and in due time when he comes of age, he will take his rightful place as a member of the American sovereignty. Be it also known by all that an attempt was made by criminals to register my son, Hunter Pierre, as a U.S. citizen to secure him as collateral for the fictitious federal debt, but it was rejected on Arizona State Certificate worth sheep, a true copy of which is attached. And so then, if you, there it is up close. Okay, this is all of the stuff that we were just looking at. And so there it is again, up close. Look it up. Right there is the fee number. Okay, that's the recording number. You can go to Pinal County Recorder's website and look that up. Anyways, and I actually attached the paperwork that we got at the hospital, and that was our mistake. Okay, is I would never ever, well, quite frankly, it's all my wife's department. Okay, I don't tell my wife where she's going to have a baby. That's her department. Okay, and so I would never tell my wife what she could or could not do as far as where she's going to have a baby or something like that. If she wants to go to the hospital, then she goes to the hospital, and we'll just deal with it. But by the same token, and my wife has had babies at home. But she was getting older with Hunter Pierre, and so she was concerned about her age and about complications, and so she went to the hospital, and she did it with my full support. And so I would never ever tell my wife what to do with her body, and what you do is up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I would never ever tell my wife what to do with her body. I would encourage her to do certain things, but at the end of the day, it's her body, Anyways, so at common law, if you use a midwife and you have babies at home, then you're less likely. The matter of fact, they won't force you to register the birth. Okay, in the hospital they do. Okay, that's exactly what happens. Is they actually force it. Matter of fact, after we did that, they actually passed a statute in Arizona. And so the people need to get off their backside and take care of business and put a stop to that stuff is what they need to do. But because the people are so damn stupid, they're getting away with it. Okay, that's really what it comes down to. Some states have made midwives illegal. Again, that's because the people are so damn stupid, they're letting them get away with it. Homeschool is way better. Teach your sons and daughters how to be sovereign and how to make money and how to do common law contracts. Okay, again, you can do common law contracts without going into commerce. Okay, I've said that on numerous videos. Common law contracts are not commercial. Okay, commerce is anything to do with the bankster thieves and unidroit, anything that falls under the unidroit. And that's not everything. Anyways, so that's it. That's basically about it. I appreciate you watching it. Again, start thinking outside the box. Do not cave in. And record all your family things in the family Bible, and then record it. Once it's recorded in the family Bible, make a copy, make a declaration, and record it into the county. And now you got it in the public, and yet it's not in the public in such a way that they can go and collateralize it. So, anyways, I hope you got something out of this. Some people were wondering about how to do that. That's how I would do it. And I would hope that my wife would want to have the baby at home, but if not, I don't want her to, all the children that we had, even the ones that we had at home, we had a midwife, and the wife, the midwives had doctors as backups and hospitals all in place, and the midwives actually told my wife, they said, if there's a complication or if there's a problem, it's not up to you, it'll be up to me, and if I say we're going to the hospital, or we're going to the hospital, and there's a doctor as a backup, and that's okay. And that's good, actually, in my opinion, because if there's some complication or something like that the midwife can't handle, then it's good to know that there's a backup. But so actually, two of my children were born at home, and everything was fine. And so, again, it comes down to, again, your wife. Okay, that's her department. I would never, ever tell her what she should or should not do. I would encourage her one way, but I'd say the decision's yours, and I'll support you whatever you decide. Anyways, thanks for watching, and have a great day.